Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source. It's the backup channel backing Celeb up and bringing you all the breaking news. As you may or may not know, in mid-December, Kevin Hart told everyone that he was going to be bringing his reality check tour to Cairo, Egypt. As it stands right now, Kevin's performance is scheduled to take place at the Cairo Indoor Stadium on February 21st, and the show marks the first time Kevin is out there doing his show near the pyramids of Giza. Unfortunately, everybody's not so happy about Kevin coming to Egypt because while he was finishing up the North American leg of his tour, he was slammed by fans in Africa for saying, quote, "Egyptians are black," end quote. As a result of his statement, many people have called for Kevin's upcoming show in Cairo to be canceled and have expressed their disdain for the actor/comedian through hashtags such as hashtag Kevin Hart's not welcome in Egypt and hashtag cancel Kevin Hart show. One person on social media wrote, quote, "You aren't welcome to Egypt. Egyptians aren't Africans. We're the real builders of the civilization. No one else. The Afrocentric is just a lie. They're liars. Egypt is our land, not the Africans." Another person wrote, "At Kevin Hart for real. We were never black, and this is the difference. Stop trying to steal others' cultures to create fake value for yourself. We were sympathizing with your past as slaves, but that doesn't mean to wipe it with stealing." But get this, everybody wasn't against Kevin. Some other people wrote, "Egypt is black Africa. Egypt is an African country, not an Arab country. The original Egyptians are black. And finally, Egyptians are black. Kevin Hart is right." And that was followed by, "Egypt do not want Kevin Hart performance in the country because he speak the truth that Egypt is black Africa long before the Arabs and European invasion." As of yet, Kevin and his publicity team have not addressed the matter. However, last month, Kevin appeared on the Very Well Mind podcast and discussed the fact that society's sensitivity has curtailed his joke telling. Kevin said, quote, "Now there's a heightened level of sensitivity. There is a heightened level of opinion in today's time because social media has presented the world with a bunch of platforms so people can express themselves and how they feel. So now the things we didn't hear on a regular basis, you are now hearing. The conversations you may not have been aware of, well, you're hearing because they're all happening in real time. With that being said, we can't lose the idea of laughing at ourselves," end quote. Listen, this whole thing just gets on my nerves because one, Egypt is located on the continent of Africa. Therefore, all Egyptians are African. And I gotta tell you, that's just based on geography. Now, let's take it a little further. And I know this information is very hard to accept, even though it has been scientifically proven over and over and over again by both white and black scientists. From Herodotus to Sheikh Anta-Diop, who proved it with DNA. The Fertile Crescent was the birthplace of all humanity. It was the cradle of civilization in Africa near the Nile River. And guess what? The first people who were born there were black. And those individuals who were melanated people built up the early river valley civilizations. Period. So now, those individuals throughout the generations migrate outward to other continents, okay? And mutations begin to take place. And as those mutations begin to take place, white people are formed, quote unquote, the non-melanated people are formed somewhere near the Caucasus Mountains, many years after the original man was born. Hence, Egyptians were black. Now, of course, those non-melanated people bust a Yui and they turned around and they went back into Africa. So yes, today you have white and black Egyptians. However, in the beginning, those Egyptians were black. Listen, they've been trying to change the history of Egypt forever. That's why they put that Elizabeth Taylor up on the screen and had her playing Cleopatra. Don't fall for the okie doke. Do not fall for the okie doke. Because if you let them, 100 years from now, they're going to be trying to say that Harriet Tubman, Malcolm X, and Martin Luther King were all white revolutionaries who fought for the freedom of black people. I can just see those textbooks now. A little white guy standing by the window with some black frame glasses with a machine gun with a caption that says, "By any means necessary." Listen, I'm going to move on to the next story, but let me leave you with this old African proverb: until the lion tells the story, the hunter will always be the hero. And you know what? While we're talking about Africa, I'm going to share this next story with you too. During an appearance on the ZZ Mills show, Akon spoke on a number of topics, and he also made a few statements that seem to be rubbing some people the wrong way. During the show, Akon compared African American artists to African artists, and he said that African performers were just a little different. Akon said, quote, "We a little different when it comes to stage presence. Now in America, oh yeah, them ninjas gonna be wobbling, pants hanging half down, bored as hell, half sleep, cause they high as hell. But in Africa, I mean, look at these YouTube clips of all these kids from Uganda. These kids are performers. So for us, it comes naturally to watch these kids from Africa. It's in their blood. Performing is like second nature to us." End quote. After hearing Akon's comments, Twitter reacted. Van Lathan called Akon's comments disrespectful and wrote, quote, "It always comes back to ishing on black Americans, especially after they've made millions imitating black Americans." End quote. Ebro Darden added, quote, "This is framed in a way to trigger me. Let me chill. At Akon, you're my guy and you can't mean African Americans in general. Ain't no way." End quote. Somebody named Anna Gifty also came through and wrote, quote, "As a Ghanaian American, I hate this with every fiber of my body for so many reasons. But what really gets me about this entire conversation is Akon using African American vernacular English while degrading African Americans." End quote. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you what I really don't like about Akon's comments. When he's making it, it makes it seem as if he's comparing apples to oranges. But when you're comparing Africans to African Americans, you're actually comparing apples to apples because, like I said before, the seeds come from the same place. It kills me because everybody else reps their country. You know what I'm saying? Ask an Italian American where their family comes from. They say Italy. Ask a Russian American where their family comes from. They say Russia. Ask a Polish person where their family comes from. They say Poland. But not us. Ask us where we come from and we say everything but Africa. Ask a dude where he's from and he'll say, "Yo sis, my father's side, he's from Puerto Rico, and then, on my mother's side, she was Native American, and then she came to America by way of Spain after she left Jamaica before she went to Haiti. But before they got to Haiti, they was really from Finland, cause I'm 15% Dutch, cause that's why, like, my grandfather was like Irish, you know what I'm saying? And after he left Russia, that's when we ended up in Switzerland, and that's why I got this good hair." Listen, I hate to break it to you, bruh, but you are from Africa. And the only difference between most African Americans living in America and the ones in the Caribbean are where that ship dropped us off. Now, of course, over time, we develop different languages, cultural traditions, dialects, etc. However, that seed comes from the same place. And since we mentioned it, we might as well go into it. Please, people, stop with all that good hair, bad hair stuff. There's a whole lot of African tribes in Africa that have longer and straighter and blonder hair than most Europeans. And they got blue eyes and green eyes and gray eyes too. I'm warning you, divide and conquer has always been a game that the Europeans have played with Africans and African Americans to keep us from fully grasping the potential and fullness of our power. Do not play that game. Listen, I think Akon is sort of playing that game right now, and I am not pleased with him. Let me know what you think in the comments. Now check it out. Earlier this week, G Herbo posted a video of himself singing along to Usher's 2004 song Superstar from the Confessions album. He was in the car, and G Herbo was feeling it. He was hitting the high notes and everything. He was feeling himself so much that under the post he wrote, quote, "At Usher can't F with me on my worst day," end quote. Well, Usher, being the R&B icon that he is, apparently did not like G Herbo's rendition of his song. So he responded back by putting a cap emoji in G Herbo's comments. After seeing that little blue baseball cap pop up in the comments, one person wrote, Usher said, play with somebody else. Another fan reacted by writing, quote, Usher was highly offended, crying face emojis. Y'all know the OG musicians don't play about their talent, end quote. That fan might have a point, because while some musicians might give you a little leeway, Usher does not play about his ish. If you remember, back in August, he was on the People Everyday podcast, and they asked him if he would ever possibly do a versus, and Usher said, quote, I think if you ever came to my show, you would understand that I don't even think a versus could handle all the songs that I have, to be honest. It's like I could do it by myself, but I don't want to do that. That's not the purpose of versus, me versus me. But I think it's great. It's great to celebrate music, but the appreciation of it starts with the understanding of what it is and how long it has taken to do this legacy. And if you choose to compare it, what are you comparing it to? Are you comparing it to itself? End quote. Well, alrighty then. There you have it. Usher just said can't nobody do a versus against Usher except for Usher. Yo, let me know what you think. Do you think that there's no one out there who is comparable to Usher? That there's no one who can offer Usher a challenge? Let me know what you think in the comments. Now, get this. Before Atlanta rapper YFN LUCCI got arrested for multiple charges of racketeering, violating the state's anti-gang law, felony murder, aggravated assault, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, he had an on-again, off-again relationship with Lil Wayne's daughter Reginae Carter for 2 years. But after YFN got locked up, the couple went their separate ways, and Reginae Carter started dating singer and YouTube star Armand Warren. Well, it appears as if YFN has now moved on and found himself a new prison boo. Recently, a photo of a woman wearing a shirt and a bikini on the beach was shared on Lucci's Instagram story, with the word priceless and heart eye emojis appearing on the image. Lucci also tagged the woman, whose Instagram name is @Mashia_D, and shortly after his post, Mashia_D reposted his post on her post, and after everything was posted, YFN's fans couldn't help but notice that his new boo looks a whole lot like his old boo, Reginae, and some people are even saying that she looks like Reginae's mother, Toya, who is Lil Wayne's ex-wife. One person on social media came through and wrote, quote, she low-key looks like Reginae, end quote. Another person added, quote, wow, she favors Reginae, end quote. And a third person came through and was like, yo, she looked like Reginae's mom, end quote. I don't know. Take a look at the picture and let me know in the comments if you think this chick looks like Reginae or Toya. You know, some people have a type, you know, and they date that type exclusively. Let me know from personal experience, if you got a new boo, does your new boo look a lot like your last boo? And if they do they know that they look a whole lot like your ex-boo? Or do you have all of those old pictures hidden in your closet in a secret compartment like that chick from Get Out? Now check this out. Blaxploitation legend Pam Grier, aka Foxy Brown, aka Black Coffee, has come out and she says that she's really feeling Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B. During a recent conversation with Rolling Stone's Rob Sheffield, Pam Grier said that she was working on getting Cardi B involved in an upcoming project. Pam said, quote, I'm writing something for me and Cardi B. I love Cardi B and WAP. I love Megan Thee Stallion. I told her, you and your artistry are beautiful. People are gonna punk you because a stallion is a male horse, but there are some really foxy mares. She's really good. She went to college. Pam continued on to say, you gotta have your goals. You're gonna have haters, you're gonna have jealousy, but just do your art. Do your passion from your heart. Megan and Lizzo and Nicki Minaj and some of the others, they know you gotta make your own style. You get to hire people later, but you come up with your own stuff. Then you just draw people in like a magnet. So collaboration makes you greater and greater. I want them to find that. End quote. I'm glad to see Pam Grier coming out and speaking to these female rappers and about these female rappers, because Pam Grier was them before they were even them. I'm wondering if Pam Grier gave that same advice to the rapper Foxy Brown back in the day, or if she wasn't feeling her because she stole her name. I'm just messing around, but do you agree with Foxy? Does collaboration make things better? And do you think any of these female rappers could ever collaborate with one another and set aside their little petty beefs? Could Nicki and Cardi possibly drop a hot track in the future, or is that dead in the water? And while I'm thinking about it, because thinking about Pam Grier, Megan Thee Stallion, and Cardi B in the same sentence is making me wonder, is today's modern rap, especially the female rap, a modern form of blaxploitation? Let me know in the comments. Now check this out. If you're a Drizzy Drake fan, this next piece of news might excite you, because apparently some of Drake's old lyrics that he wrote down in one of his old notebooks was found, and now it's being auctioned off starting at $20,000. The other day, 89.3 The Raven tweeted out the following, quote, "A rep for the MIT auction house says rapper Drake was working in his uncle's Memphis furniture factory as a youth, and the lyrics were found in the dumpster when the factory was eventually closed down. Now they'll be posted for sale," end quote. And they added a picture of the lyrics. Listen, I got my own marble notebooks full of trash rap lyrics that I wrote back in the day, so I don't need Drake's, but maybe you would be interested in them. Let me know, would you be willing to spend upwards of $20,000 for Drake's old lyrics? Are those lyrics going to appreciate over time, like Jay-Z's Do Say or A Fine Wine? Well, unlike Drizzy Drake's vintage lyrics, we all know that one thing that depreciates as soon as you take it off the lot is a car. And what is up with all of these rappers getting into car accidents this week? First you got Boozy getting hit and then letting the common man slide, and now you got Lil Baby getting into a car accident too. Apparently, a couple who was driving in a Prius crashed into Lil Baby's truck, and whatever happened. So Lil Baby gets out the car, he assesses the damage, and the woman's husband helps Lil Baby change his tire. He jacks up the car, and he gets everything in order for Lil Baby. Well, Lil Baby, being who Lil Baby is, he turns around and he blesses the couple with a whole lot of cash. But here's the thing though, in the video, Lil Baby can be seen saying, quote, "I ain't seen her over there. I was in the truck," end quote. Well, as it stands now, everything is gravy. Everything is good in the hood, because the lady who was driving the Prius posted a video online in which she said Lil Baby blessed her and her husband handsomely for her husband's roadside assistance. Listen, I've got my fingers crossed and I'm praying for Lil Baby, because I hope his little act of kindness does not come back to bite him on the buns. You know how some people can be. Once they find out how much money is possibly available, they turn around and all of a sudden it's like my neck and my back, you know what I'm saying? And then they want to take you to court even when they hit you. Now really quick before we go, let me give you a Quando Rondo update. Quando is apparently a little upset with his girlfriend right now because he says she has been secretly linking up with the ops. Quando went online and he shared a tweet which said, quote, "This is just on some real ish. I'll never F with, follow like up with an op like nah, disrespect my dead homies and wanna harm me if I'm going through with the person I love or so-called love. I'll never get under your skin that way. F that ish though. Ain't no smoke about that ish. Y'all can have her on my soul," end quote. Listen, once I was able to linguistically decode what Quando Rondo was trying to say in that tweet, it makes sense to me now. And I gotta say, I feel bad for poor Quando. He can't be hooking up with some chick who's linking up with the ops. I mean, she could be possibly trying to infiltrate the camp to take down Quando from the inside like a Trojan horse. Listen, he's going to have to dump that chick. He's going to have to kick her to the curb because she is not the one. I feel so sorry for poor Quando because this chick sounds like she's trying to do Quando dirty. And you know what I really think? I think Quando just really needs a little love. I think Quando needs a little love in his life. Can somebody find Quando and give him a little love? Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Sauce, your source for celebrity news. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Peace.